Shalom, shalom. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. We've all heard that saying. So where did we see it? Where did it first come from? I mean, we hear it from time to time. So let's see where I first found it. It's in Exodus 21, 22. 22, Exodus. So let me read it. This is what you must do whenever men fight and injure a pregnant woman, so that she gives birth prematurely. If there is no other injuries, the offender must pay whatever fine the court allows the woman's husband to demand. If anyone is injured, the offender must pay a life for a life, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, a hand for a hand, a foot for a foot, a burn for a burn, a bruise for a bruise, a wound for a wound. So, it seems pretty fair to me, but let me go a little bit further. Let me see what this says. Whenever an owner hits his male or female slave or worker in the eye, and the slave is blinded, he must let that slave go free to make up for the loss of the eye. If the owner knocks out a tooth of the male or female slave, he must let the slave go free to make up the loss for the tooth. Whenever a bull gores a man or a woman to death, that bull must be stoned to death, and its meat not be eaten. The bull's owner is free from any liability, but if the bull had the habit of goring, and the owner had been warned, but has not kept it confined, and it kills a man or a woman, then that bull must be stoned, and its owner must be put to death too. Reminds me a lot about the pit bulls today. We know, some of these, they've been warned several times. These dogs go after dogs. They get the warnings, and then all of a sudden somebody's mauled half to death. And they knew good and well this animal had it in it. Not just in, pit bulls, but any dog. But you hear it a lot with pit bulls. If the bull gores someone's son or daughter, the same ruling applies. If the bull gores a male or female slave, its owner must pay 12 ounces of silver to that slave's master, and the bull must be stoned to death. Okay, so an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. Is it truth? Or is it the lying pen of the scrolls? We'll see, I'm going to flip back a page in the Torah portion of today and go over these 10 commandments. These things were shouted out to by the Most High before anything happened. Before the laws, statutes, commandments, all these the laws and statutes went into effect, this is what the Most High required. Exodus 20:20, the 10 Commandments. Then Elohim spoke these words, I am Yahuwah, or Yahweh, your Elohim, who brought you out of slavery in Egypt. Never have any other God, or Almighty One. Never make your own carved idols or statues that represent any creature in the sky, on the earth, or in the water. Never worship them or serve them, because I, Yahweh, your Elohim, am El-Kanah, which means jealous. I punish children for their parents' sins to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. Because if you love him, you'll keep his commandments, right? So, but I show mercy to the thousands of generations to those who love me and obey my commandments. Never use the name of Yahweh, your Elohim, carelessly. Yahweh will make sure that anyone who carelessly uses his name will be punished. Remember the day of worship by observing it as a holy, a Kodesh day. You have 6 days to do all your work. The 7th day is a day of worship dedicated to Yahweh, your Elohim. You, your sons, your daughters, your male, your female slaves, your cattle, even the animals got to rest. I mean, come on. And all the foreigners in the land must not do any work that day. In the 6 days, Yahuwah made the Shamaims, the heavens and the earth and the seas, along with everything in them. He didn't work on the seventh day. That's why Yahuwah blessed the day he stopped his work and set this day apart as Kodesh, holy. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live for a long time in the land Yahuwah your Elohim is giving you. Never murder, never commit adultery, never steal, never lie when you testify about your neighbor, never desire to take your neighbor's household away from him. Never desire to take your neighbor's wife, his male or female slave, his oxen, his donkeys, or anything else that belongs to him for that matter. And I'll go on to the people's reaction. All people heard the thunder and saw the lightning. They heard the blast of the ram's horn and saw the mountain covered with smoke. So they shook with fear and stood at a distance. Then they said to Moses, "You speak for us. We will listen, and but don't let Elohim speak to us, or we'll die, probably of a heart attack." Moses answered the people, "Don't be afraid. Elohim has come only to test you, so that you will be in awe of him and will not sin." The people kept their distance while Moses kept closer to the dark cloud where Elohim was. So that's, we know that even Yeshua said that you shall listen to those who sit in the seat of Moshe, because he is teaching Torah in that seat. But don't do as they do, because, that's another story. Shabbat Shalom, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Hallelujah.